Hey there, welcome back friends. In this video we will talk about validations and how we can repopulate form data. So let's get started. For example, in here I added a name like John, and gender as male, country as maybe Thailand this time, and introduction would be, for example, hello, I am good. Not a very good introduction, but it is what it is. And visited country, for example, China, and accepts the agreement. And for example, we submit this. In this case, this form firstly submits. So that's one thing. Apart from that, it is giving us this error that the form had some errors. Now, how to prevent it for submitting and how to repopulate form information is something which we will check. So firstly, let me open up the user.java file. So here is the rule which we have mentioned, right? Let me open up the controller. So if I show you the controller, then this is the method where we are submitting the form, right? So here is the code which is doing the stuff. This is the code which is processing the response from the form. Now friends, in here, for example, if we check this if block, this if block is not returning any view. As a result, once this if block is done, we are returning a model and view based on display user info. As a result, we are able to submit the form. Alright, so now let me modify things a little. So first of all, in here we will add a else part, and inside the else part we will add this submit statement. Let me format things a little, and we will do one more thing. We will also add a yet another system.out.println statement. Let me also stop the web server, and it will say all good, like this. All good. Good enough. This looks good. Now friends, when there is no error, we are returning this model and view which is display user info. But when there is some kind of error, what we will do, we will load this user form view file. Which file? The file which generates this form. So we will try to repopulate the form. Now what happens if we try to repopulate the form? Let me show. So in here, let me do one thing. Let me copy this particular part and create a object out of it, and we will give a new name to it. It would be like repopulating form view. All right, so this is good. Indeed, there will be model information as well, so it would be like repopulating model and view. That would be a better name. All right, and now finally we will return it. So it would be like return this particular object. Now take a note of it. As soon as we do this, there will be a crash if we try to run this. The reason being, this view, this user form view depends on firstly these two maps for the form, and there is some additional information which we need to get it going. So that is again something I will discuss. But first of all, let me run this application and let me show you how this will crash, and how to fix the crash, and how to repopulate the form information again. So that is something I will show you right away. This is taking some time. Here we go. So now let me add the name as Mia, female, United States, for example. Hi, Taiwan, accepts agreement, submit. So now there will be a crash. Let me read the crash. So in here there are like couple of things which are missing, like a country map, gender map, right? And there are like missing stuff, right? So how to fix this? Very simple. Let me again navigate to main controller. Now friends, there are two solutions to it. Firstly, we can make use of the conventional way. Let me show you the form real quick. So if I show you the form, where is the view? Let me open up the view, user form view. Alright, so in here we are making use of map. right? So in here we are making use of radio buttons. So instead of buttons, we can make use of button and add the information which is here directly on the form, on the view itself. That's a better practice, to be very honest. Add the view related information directly to the view if it is not a dynamic element. If it is a static type of list or a static type of radio button, it is always good to add it directly on the view file. But as of now, let's do one thing. Let's copy this entire part and copy and paste in here in order to get rid of the error. Now friends, till here it is good, but what about this user thing? In here we already receiving the user object with the information. As a result, we need not to worry about this line. We don't need it. We have a object by the name of user, and that will do the work. And I have checked couple of resources. I have experimented that how to reuse this particular what we say method, but it turns out to be that there is no specific method. But if you find a alternate method, let me know. But the best solution which we can implement is adding the static elements from the controller to the view itself and making the controller little more simpler. That would be better. And in our next video I will make the changes and I will also show you the changes. But as of now, let me quickly run this and let me show you whether this is working properly or not, and I am pretty sure that it will work. Alright, here is the form, and again, Mia, female, United States, hi, Germany, accepts agreement, submit. And there is some kind of error. Strange. Let me check. Alright, I know why it is not working. Let me again show you the main controller. Let me close the unwanted tabs which we don't want. Now friends, there is this thing. In order to repopulate, what we are doing, we are creating an object, but we are not adding information of user inside this particular, what we say, model and view. We have the user information, and the user information have not added for this repopulating model and view. So how to do it? Let me show you. So in here, if I try to show you the type of constructors we have, let me show you. So one of the constructor would be based on model. Here we go. String view, string model name, and object model object. We will use this. Now name of the view is user form view. I know this is kind of confusing, but I will simplify stuff in our next video. Don't worry about it. Model name. Now model name is very important. Let me open up the view file again. So in here, you remember that model attribute is user. So this name is very important. We have to give it as it is. So in here, the name, the model name is user, right? And the object which we will use is the object which we are receiving as a part of form submission, right? So it would be again like user. And this time it should work. So whenever we are copying and pasting and doing stuff like this, there is always a scope of error. That is the reason why the view related stuff should be under view, the controller related stuff should be under controller, and we should always keep things as simple as it can be. It is reloading the context. Let me retry. It should work without restarting. So it would be like Mia again, female, hello, Germany, and again there is some kind of error. So this time I will try to restart the web server. Sometimes it doesn't work properly without restarting. So let me restart the web server. Alright, so now if we add information which does not have any error, the rule which we have added on name is size must be in between 5 to 10 characters. My name is of 6 characters, so there is no issue. Let me add a introduction message as author. Let me click on submit and all good. Fabulous, good. Now for example I retry and this time I make some changes as Mia, female, United States, hello, submit, and now there would be a crash. Now how to fix this crash is something which we will see. So let us quickly navigate to main controller. Let me expand this. So this particular view, repopulating model view, requires these maps, right? So these maps needs to be added. So let me copy this particular part and paste it in here. Here we go, like this. And in here we need to make use of a repopulating model in order to add object. Here we go. Alright, so this looks good, and take a note of it that I have copied the information from this map. I haven't added a new object of user. The reason being, when the form is getting submitted, we are receiving a user object, and the user object already contains the form information. As a result, we will submit the user information to the form itself, and the name of the attribute is user. Now this name is very important. Let me quickly show you. So in here, if you guys remember, we have this model attribute, and the name of the model attribute is user. So this user name should match with this object name. So that is very important. Now I guess we are good to go. Let me quickly run this application. This will take a couple of more seconds. Alright, the application is up and running. Again, Mia, female, United States, hello, Germany, accepts agreement. Now take a note of it. As soon as I submit, what happens? Indeed, nothing happens. Why? Because indeed this application got submitted. There was some kind of error, and we are able to check out this particular view once again. Now in order to check whether everything is working properly or not, let us do one small little thing. Before returning the model and view, pardon me, not model and view, before returning this particular repopulating form view, let us add a system.out.println statement, and it would be like has errors. So this statement will notify us that we are repopulating the information using this if condition. So it would be like has errors. Let me save the changes. All right, will this work? Let me refresh the page. All right, so the context is reloading. This will take a couple of more seconds. All right, I suppose this is good. Let me click on submit. Here we go. So we are successful in repopulating the form information, but there is no like validation errors in here. As a result, user won't be able to understand what exactly is going wrong and why this form is not getting submitted. So how to handle it, how to show, how to display error messages is something which we will see in our next video. Moreover, there is one very important thing. You can easily make out that this controller is becoming complicated. The reason being, we are using some maps, and these maps are what? These maps are nothing but getting added to the view file, right? So this is something which is there. Now in our next video, firstly I will show you the alternate way of simplifying this approach. So that would be first, and later down the line we will also get rid of all these maps so that we can simplify the controller a little. So a couple of additional stuff will be covered before actually checking out the validation message stuff. Alright, so I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thanks for watching. Have a nice day and take care.